Dad, what are you doing with all that money? I'm sending it to your cousins in Ghana. They need it. Bruh, Dad, no they don't. They're not using it wisely. They're buying jewelry and unnecessary things. Dad, I need money for college. Oh, you will be okay. Hey, it's Antoine on WhatsApp. Big bust down really. We are making 6 figures. You are broke. That's not even your money. We are making 6 figures and you are broke. That's my dad's money. Get on our level. That's not even your money. That's crazy, bro.
Hello everyone. This is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's get into the video.
I'm a West African man born here in America. And I was talking to somebody from back home, back in Africa, right? And, you know, conversation, we were talking and they're asking for money. And what they're asking for money for was for a house. And I'm like, bro, I live in New York City. I don't think I will ever get a house anytime soon. You asking me for money to go buy something that I don't even own? I be wondering sometimes, like, yo, is there like a filter or something in terms of like when asking for money? Like, okay, I'm asking for the person for money, right? So that they're not asking for the money to go buy that the person own it. How you gonna ask somebody that ain't even got it, then you looking to buy, right? So if I ain't got it, that mean I ain't got the money. So the money you asking for, that I ain't got it. Because the thing you looking to buy, I ain't got it. So just think about it next time. When you say you want to go buy a house, you want to buy zinc for your house there, or so like that. Just ask yourself, does that person who you asking money for even have a house? If they don't have a house, don't ask.
So I woke up to the realization that I need to stop sending all of my money to Africa. And here's why. Number one, it doesn't help with the narrative that if you're in America, you're rich. If you're in America, life is comfortable, you have everything you need. Just a few days ago, I had 2 of my cousins reach out to me. I was like, oh, I need only $400. Only $400. And last year, I visited home. And to my surprise, almost all my uncles and aunties had houses. Okay, these are the same people when you speak to them over the phone, they're gonna tell you the economy is hard, there's no money, this, that, and the other. And every little problem, like I literally can't sit for a minute without somebody reaching out to me and asking for money. I'm talking about friends and family alike. And being the person that I am, all of my savings, I just give it out, okay? And then I'm like, no, that's not a good thing. I need to start looking out for me. I need to start investing in myself, because as it stands right now, I don't even have property in my name. And here I am pouring out so much money into other people. And I'm like, well, they do the same thing for me when I'm in need. And maybe there's gonna be a time that they're not even gonna be in a better position to assist me. And so this year moving forward is for me. I'm not saying I'm not gonna help, but I would invest in myself and I'll make sure that I am comfortable, okay? Even before I think about helping other people, I will make sure that I am equally comfortable and not just throw money around and have people think that, you know, hey, she's got money and she's just, you know, willing to spend. No, that's not what it is.
One thing that really shocks me is when I hear children of immigrants insisting that they're never going to send money back home. And
I feel like I have a lot to say on this topic. As somebody who's lived in both a third world country and a first world country and experienced both realities, I am very sorry to say I will not be one of those people sending my money back home. I say this to say this. People back home feel a certain level of entitlement to your money because you live in this country. But little do they know that even living in this country is still a hard job. And I say this because I've seen the trauma and the stress that my mum has gone through of trying to make ends meet here and then make ends meet back at home. And then even people back at home are still saying it's not enough. I feel like if there's any way in which I am going to supply finances to people back home is by providing and teaching financial freedom. Me providing you money doesn't benefit you in the long run, because at the end of the day, God forbid anything happens to me, your cash flow is gone. Your cash cow, gone. You have no money. The way in which I would provide support is by offering certain things like paying for education, if it's starting a business, all these things that will help you financially in the long term, because providing you $200 now is only going to help you until the end of the month. And child, living in Zimbabwe, I have seen these people is greedy. And I'm sorry to say this, but they are greedy. They tell you that I don't have much money, but they'll still feel, you live in England, surely you have. No, it's hard here too. It's not easy. I don't want to speak that everybody is ungrateful, but from my experience and the experience that my mom has gone through, it has honestly been something that I've said to myself, no.
If you're Latino and you have family members back in your country, you don't need to feel guilty about not sending them money. Yesterday, I got a call from my niece, and I've never met her in my life. I've been in this country for 40 years, and I have never met my niece. And the phone call always begins the same way. How are you? She wants to know about me because she wants to sweeten me up in some kind of way. So she'll always start with me, but it almost immediately turns to her and how her life is so miserable in Honduras. So then she starts to tell me that there are no jobs, and it's the same story over and over. I've heard it before, right? And then she goes, I really want to buy 2 pigs because I think it's a good idea for me to, start growing pigs and chickens, and that way I can sell them and make a lot of money. And I said to her, yeah, that's a great idea. My dad, when I lived in Honduras, my dad used to do the same thing. We used to have like 15, 20 pigs, and we used to sell them, and they sell very well. And not only that, whenever we were short on meat, we would just slaughter a pig and have meat for weeks. So then here's the question. Can you send me money? Because each one of them costs $1,500, which is about a couple of $100 US dollars, right? So she needs $400. And here's the reason why I said no to her. One, they're always lying. Every time she calls me for something, it's always someone sick. There's always last time she got me, she wanted to move from point A to point B because the area where she lived at flooded. And she was like, I need to move to higher grounds. Can you send me some money? I sent her $400. Did she move? Nope. And here's the other reason why I don't send her money. Because they always call me. She'll always call me to ask me for money. But I never get an update phone call. I never get a thank you phone call. It's like, okay, did she receive the money? Did I not even a, Tia, I got the money. Thank you so much. I was able to move. None of that. I never get an update of what happened to the money. So now it's like, no, you know what? And by the way, me and my mom, we just sent them a box of things. We sent them microwaves. We sent them TVs. We sent them money. Just Christmas. It's only mid-January and she already wants more money. So the answer is no. I know that a lot of you are going to be like, well, they're poor in Honduras. The answer is no.
Guys, we have to talk about this topic. We just have to speak on it because a lot of immigrants, they experience this thing where they have a lot of family members back home and they are burdened by their family because their family is always asking them for money. And I have personal experience with this. We've been in the States for about 21 years now. Just imagine that. 20 to 21 years and your family still cannot get their life together. We have given them chances. They have had multiple opportunities to thrive, but they choose to be stagnant. They choose to fail. They choose to be reliant on other people. And it's a sad thing. Like, you want to help them, but helping them enables them to make poor choices only because you will always be there to bail them out when they fail. I always try to explain to my mom, I'm just like, Mom, these people, like, how many years can you continue to help a person learn how to fish? And after 20 years, they still don't know how to fish. You should figure out something. You should do your research on something. You should strategize. Use your brain. That is why God gave you a brain. Use your brain and come up with something. Ask around. Work with other people. It's not that hard. If there are no opportunities, create opportunities for yourself. If there are no jobs, create jobs. And one of the life lessons that I have learned is that regardless of wherever you are in the world, your will to survive and thrive will prevail over every single thing. Regardless of how many obstacles are in your way, and it can take years, but eventually you will find something that you can do that works. and that you can scale. Usually it takes a lot of years, and you have to be willing to continue to try new things out until something sticks. That is the thing. We have helped them with school. We have helped them with starting their own business. We have sent 2 cars over there. Like we did everything. We did it all. We sent thousands of dollars over the past 20 years. Honestly though, if you add everything up, it is probably closer to, I would say, $50,000 to $100,000 plus the cars. And if you convert that amount, that is a lot of money over there. And at the end of the day, nothing to show for it. Make it make sense.
One more thing about being an immigrant. When we leave our native country to live in another country, we usually try to send money back home. You know, to help out with stuff. Because the money translates much better there sometimes. You know what I mean. And it's such a good feeling to know you can actually help in another way. But then sometimes it can get rough. And I mean rough. You have those who really takes things for granted. You work very hard in the snow and in the cold just to make that $5 an hour. Then they call to let you know they need help. Oh yeah? For what now? There's a party coming up and I need some cash.
I seen a video about what happens if you don't send money back home to another country. So my parents, they're immigrants. They're from a country called Laos, right? My parents went to Laos last month. And let me tell you guys about my mom's fucking cousins. It's her second cousin at that, okay? So I guess 30 years ago, my mom's mom, who is dead, she's been dead for 21 years, right? She owes somebody in Laos fucking 15, 20,000. I don't even fucking know the number. So when they found out my mom's coming to Laos last month, they're like, oh, by the way, your mom owes us 15 or 20,000, however much money it was. And they just think that people in America have so much money. Well, like, that's just not it. Whenever she did get to Laos, they emptied out her pockets, like literally, like took all the money she had because, and like, mind you, the lady who lives in Laos, my mom's cousin, it's a guy and a woman, a guy and a girl trying to like collect money from my mom, saying that my mom owes their yeah, anyways. But the woman, she is like a real estate lady out there. She has 4 houses, rents them all out. Like, the bitch got money out there. And it's like, it's a thing though. People in the other countries can be living good where they're at, but they just want the American fucking money, and they don't care. They don't have no chill. Like, they don't ask you how your day's going, how's it going in America. They don't give a fuck. They just want money, and they're gonna find every excuse in the book to get that shit, okay? And I hate that for my mom, because my mom is such a kind person, and she's so big-hearted, and she just like, she feels obligated that she has to like give them money. She gave them a little bit, like $100 or $200, but $100 or $200 in Laos is a lot of fucking money. Like, some people only get paid $200 a month US money there, so just imagine how far that $200 can go. And yeah, dude, my mom just feels obligated, because my mom wants to go to Laos again, but she doesn't want to run into them. I'm like, Mom, just don't talk to them, period. And she's like, they live next door to your dad's mom's house. What am I like, Mom, just fuck them people back home, except my grandma.
I should know better to send money to my family in Nicaragua or Honduras. If you scroll back a few videos down, you'll see I made a story time about my cousin in Nicaragua that asked for money, and I'm a people pleaser and I felt bad, and I didn't feel like she was lying to me about where the money was going, so I sent her the money. She asked for money twice, and I did send it twice, but, you know, I was like, okay, I don't want this to be a recurring thing. No la quiero mal acostumbrar. So my husband said, you can make me out to be the bad person. Just go ahead and say that I'm the reason you can't send money anymore. And I said, okay. So I did tell her, hey, like, one-time thing, cannot send any more money. My husband doesn't really agree with all of this. And guess what? She stopped talking to me. She stopped reaching out to me. Like, it's been crickets. And I should know better, because I've seen this happen so much to my mom or other friends and family that have family back in Mexico or Honduras or anywhere, where the minute you stop sending money, you guys are not family anymore. And I'm not super close with her. I've met her twice. We have a huge age gap. And like, while I was sending money, she wanted to know how I was doing every single day. Now that I don't send money, nothing.
African math is sending thousands of money back home for a house to be built, only to come back to no house or somebody else's house. African math is sending money back home when you're asked of it, only to be called a witch anyway. And when you stop sending money back home, you're called a witch anyway again. Thank you. African math is having your grandparents ask you for money, knowing very well they have children twice or even thrice your age who's been working for like 2 decades and earn an income. But you're the one they asking for money, not, okay.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Some of you, the type of entitlement mentality you have in Nigeria over your people in abroad is too much. It's unbelievable. All this no, somebody will suffer. Get up by all means. Go and walk, whether snow, whether anything, or cold, serious cold. You will go and walk and send you money. Most times, you people are not appreciative of that money. Not all, but many of you are not. Some have all the conversion, waiting dollar B, waiting euro, waiting Dutch mark, waiting pounds B. They will give you money. You feel it's too small. Why can you give me this kind of money? A whole somebody way abroad. That entitlement mentality, where we get there, it will not save you. Wake up. Anything where be say tech, where person they dash you, it will not be enough. You know they do enough. That person that is giving you, you don't even know how the person is managing. But most times, some of you, now the person will even call you whether you don't receive the money. Or you just write to him, thank you. But before, now you they call him, now you want his contact, now you want his number. Eventually, the person begin to talk to you. He give you money. You know plenty. It's not what you expected. You don't know how many people that person is giving money. For abroad, nobody they give anybody money. You have to walk. You get 2 legs, you get 2 hands. You have to help yourself. Friendship for Nigeria, now wahala you define. Now money, if you no give, problem. If you give, it's small. I'm telling you, too many people, they struggle. They know they sleep well. Too many people go wake up by all means, whether snow, whether rain, or whether sun, to go and hustle. Monday to Monday, Sunday to Sunday, Saturday to Saturday, just to make ends meet. And people are not appreciative of it. Some, they don't give them money several times to start up something. At the end, nothing. You come back, brother, sister, when she enter that business, sure, this one happen, this one happen. Now I make many people know they pick on a call again. Now I make people, they change their numbers because people are not appreciative of things, no matter anything. If anybody give even 1 naira, it's something. It's not your money. Try to be appreciative. And at the way person give you something, the way you take, receive them, now you go make them next time you go say, I will give this person more. But if you be person where they try to show class where you know belong, you know gets, that person will avoid you. No time.
Hey, if you're a kid of immigrant parents, did you witness your parents send money back home only for them to be backstabbed by their own family? How many stories do we hear about our moms or our dads sending money to their siblings or whoever back home only for them to not be grateful for it? But then our parents keep doing it anyways because it's family. This can really skew our own relationship with our finances and how we view money and relationships.
A lot of the times when you do too much for people, they get used to it. And the next thing you know, they become entitled to it. They don't appreciate it anymore. And the more things that you do for other people, the worse that they will treat you because they feel like you should be helping them, especially Africans. Especially Africans. We are notorious for that. A person helps you out, and the next thing you know, you go behind their back and you trash talk them. And you trust this person and you give them your hard-earned cash and you say, you know what, I have to do a project over there, help me out with this, and eventually you can start earning from it. That same person will steal your money, lie to you, do all kinds of evil things, backstab you, and talk trash on your name the whole time. Once they are exposed, it goes downhill from there.
So yesterday I got paid and I sent another $250 to my family members in Haiti that were displaced in Mibale about 2 weeks ago now on March 31st, 2025, when gangs invaded my hometown. And I wanted to just share why I send money and why I'm able to do so freely, it's because I plan for it. It is included in my budget. It was included in my yearly goals this year to send more money back home, to really include that in my budgetary items, because my family's well-being is factored into my responsibilities. My family's survival is factored into my responsibilities. And I do it so freely and willingly because I know that their blessings upon me are priceless. Quite truly, like, I know the power of having a praying family, especially a praying family that still lives in the motherland. And every time I invest into them, I know that I am included in their prayers. I am top of mind for them. And they are wishing the best for me, because by providing for them, I am communicating to God that I am in alignment with abundance. I am so grateful to God for what I am receiving, that I am willing to pour into others. Yesterday, I sent that money to my uncle, and he sent me a text, and he said, "For as long as you live, may you never stop winning." Thank you. Because he recognizes every time I win, he wins. Punto. And that's how it's supposed to be. You don't just risk your life to cross the border and come to America and not give back to your family, to not provide for them. Because when I was living in Haiti, all of them saved my life at one point or another so I could be here right now. How could I not? How could I not give back? How could I not reach my hand out and give what little I can? How could I not? How could you not? Let's be real. How could you not?
I personally do not believe in sending money back home at all. Honestly, you're just wasting your money. I just feel that people back home are very lazy and they just want your money. When you don't give those people money, they wouldn't die. I have this auntie who, before I was born, she was always begging my dad for money. Even before I became famous, the auntie was always begging my dad for money. You're just lazy. I know I was in the womb when you were actually asking my dad for money. And now I'm all grown, you're still asking my dad for money. You just jumped from asking my dad for money to asking me for money. I feel like at this point, you're just a thief. You should be really ashamed of yourself because you're so lazy that you cannot even get a job. Get a life, get a job, stop asking my dad for money, stop asking me for money, and stop asking people around you for money. Go get a job. People who send money back home to Africa, they just want to suck money off of you. I just believe sending money back home is such a scam.
You are absolutely correct, my friend. When we look at research done from the pewresearch.org, how much money does the diaspora send to Africa? Money sent by immigrants to their home countries in sub-Saharan Africa reached a record of $41 billion in 2017. Now, I can only assume that when we look at data in 2020, so once we close the year and that number is updated, it's going to be significantly more than that. So we care about our home countries. We care about people back home to the point where we are sending billions of dollars back home. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but whenever people say that, oh, those of us live abroad, we don't care, we think about ourselves, look at how much money we're sending back home. It doesn't even match the amount of money we're investing in the places that we live abroad. So what does that tell you? Our heart lies with our people.
Hi besties. The American girl who does the excessive moisturizing and also does the beef with Naomi Campbell, she made a video a little while ago about people back home who ask for money, calling them lazy. So that obviously started a whole discourse in the diaspora, which is back. People's main argument against not giving money back home is, they don't talk to me. They never talk to me. They haven't spoken to me in 2 years. If they messaged you, would you keep the conversation going? The same way you don't want to talk to them, they don't want to talk to you. Why does someone now have to do small talk, how was your day, just because they need some money? It just comes across so self-serving. It just comes across like, I'm better than you because I was born in England. You can give someone you see on the street £10, but you can't give your second cousin 20,000 naira because they didn't ask you what primary school you went to. When you guys start talking about, yeah, they asked for iPhones, this and that, I'm really sorry, you can't set boundaries. If you have the money, give the money. If you don't have it, you don't give it. Someone asking you for money is not crazy. And no, you don't have to know my blood type, especially if we're related. People, you're giving to complete and utter strangers, but your family is where you draw the line.
You want to know what ends with me, and I'm very proud to say it, and this hill I will die on. Sending boxes back home and sending money to people who will not even tell you a happy birthday, a thank you, how you're doing. I told my family today, hey, it ends with me. God forbid something happens to you guys. Those people back home will not be taken care of because the financial abuse ends with me. It ends with me. I don't care how you feel, how that makes you feel. I do not care. Oh, they used to take care of you when you were young. They used to do this. They used to do that. Please, Caribbean and African kids, stand up.
So there's a video circulating by a young lady, and she's talking about how most of us are no longer going to be sending money back home. And she's basically saying how we're speaking from a point of privilege and how we are losing our sense of community by doing so, in addition to some other points. She turned her stitches off, but I want to share my perspective. The reason why most of us are not going to be sending money back home the way our parents were doing is because the way our parents were doing it was not sustainable. It's not wrong to have a need, but it is not practical to rely on somebody to fund your life. Now, I'll always say this, when it comes to education and like medical needs, I am more than willing to, finance a family member if my finances can accommodate it. When it comes to health and education, I can do it. Particularly education. Why? Because if I'm investing in somebody's education, I know that at a point they will be able to, support themselves and get a job. So the end goal is going to help their own financial freedom. They're not going to remain dependent on me for the rest of their life. But what is happening, and as we've seen from our parents, is that they keep sending money back home to people who are just waiting for our parents' money to be able to live life. That is just not appropriate. And let's think about it even critically. If you were to calculate the money that African parents have been sending back home versus the amount of money they're putting in their own children's education fund to go to college, yeah, crickets. There are certain things that just don't make sense. And I think that this generation of Africans, we're learning, or even immigrants, we're learning how to have boundaries. You cannot give somebody else life at the expense of your own. It's just not going to work. Basically, don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish so he can be independent. And I think that's what the scary part is. The people receiving money back home are not interested in becoming financially independent. They are more excited at the prospect of having somebody fund their lifestyle. That is not healthy. And I think that us saying no is completely in our right because, again, you are having African parents sending thousands of dollars back home to family members, yet their own kids they don't even have a college fund for. Talk to any financial advisor and they're going to tell you that you don't have wisdom. You are financially illiterate by doing so. All in all, we are having boundaries, and that is going to annoy the people who want to be dependent on us, and that's not our problem.
Whenever Gen Z or millennials say that they're not going to send money back home to like their Nigerian family members, I can personally never relate because I'm going to be the one to send the money. I don't care. Honestly, I just don't feel like it's that much big of a deal. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh no, I'm not sending money because my dad sent my uncle money to build a house and he didn't build the house. Ask yourself, why did your dad give a man that has never left his village, that doesn't have a secondary education and is not an architect, money to build a house? You should blame your dad for giving the money to somebody that he knows cannot complete the job, not the people. Honestly, people in Nigeria can use a little extra buck or two. It's not going to kill you. So one thing's for sure, two things for certain, I'm always just going to give it, especially if I have it. It's never that deep.
Guys, you know how there's like those countries where their entire GDP, their gross domestic product, a significant portion of it is made up of remittances, which is when people in the diaspora send money back home. So like you immigrate, you send money back home. I always wonder, like, what are they gonna do with the next generation, like, are we really gonna send money back home? Do we even know who to send money back home to? Because so many immigrants send money back home, they have made these unstable economies stable in a way. So what happens when that stability leaves with the next generation? When you look at like our current economy, will anyone even make enough money to be sending any money back home? Like, after my bills, I have nothing left. It's like, if you think about it, our parents spent like majority of their lives working and sending all the money back home. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Because like at some point, that's the big question. At some point, there's gotta be a reckoning. These countries need to figure out a way to stabilize their economy without relying on remittances from the diaspora. Because that's just not a stable way to like help the economy at all. And I don't want to name countries. I don't want you to guys jump down my throat. But there are some countries where their gross domestic, like the entirety of their GDP is like 50% remittances, money that is sent from the diaspora. That's crazy. Like, come on, is anyone really going to be sending money back home? Are you going to be sending money back home? I don't have any money to send back home. I don't. And who am I going to send it to? Like, I don't know anyone back home.
Remittances to Africa total about $40 to $50 billion every single year. That is how much we care about our people. But at the end of the day, where's our money going? Is it going to the intended purposes? And I actually had an idea that would in practice work. If we had a fund where we could redirect that $40 billion into actual projects instead of handing it over to our own people who constantly let us down, that would be a huge project to work on. And that would actually work because we would be creating projects that would therefore employ people and be funded at the same time. And then they would have jobs and get paid. And that would reduce the stress of us abroad and actually make progress as an African continent. We can put that money to better use and actually create large infrastructure projects with it, and then create stores and just build it like that. Because clearly something is not working. And we need to really redirect those funds into something productive and useful.
So there was a creator that came on here and said how she would never send money back home and how she had a multitude of reasons why and this, that, and the third. And as a second generation immigrant, this sparked my interest because my entire life I've watched my mom send money back home and I've seen the effects of it, and I kind of want to speak about it in a little bit more detail. So a bit of context, my mom raised me and my 3 siblings by herself in South London, and that's already a strain in itself. But then she also was sending £200, £300, £400 a month home to our family just to make sure they're straight and that they're doing well for themselves. And as a Muslim, that's always a blessing. You're providing charity, sadaqah, you're helping your family back home. I'm never going to dish you for doing that, right? However, as you grow up, you start to see how that financial strain on your mom or your parents starts to affect her and it starts to affect your family. And I'm going to talk about them. So number one, a lot of the parents that we have that were sending money back home were sending money that they didn't even have. Some parents were taking out loans. Some parents were not paying bills just to make sure the people back home are patterned. And it's a blessing, but at the same time, it's you yourself are not sorted. So why are you trying to sort someone else? Does that make sense? And number two, are we sure that the money that we have sent back home is being spent on what it was supposed to be spent on? Because I can give you hundreds of stories of how like a house was supposed to be built in a country, but when we go back to that country to see on the progress on that house, nothing is there, or the money has been completely spent on absolute nonsense. So for those reasons, I completely understand why people have decided that they're never going to send money back home. However, for me, I'm still going to send money back home for the following reason. If someone's in need, whether they need help with their hospital fees, whether they need help with educational fees, or, just to get them like a phone or shoes or just something to make their life that much better, I'm always going to be in favor of it, because if you have it and you want to give it, I don't see a problem with it. And secondly, and probably the deciding factor, I've actually gone to Guinea. I've seen where my family live. I've seen the lack of resources, the lack of opportunity, and I've seen poverty. Like, I've seen it with my own eyes. So when they ask me, well, can you get me this phone, or could you throw me this amount of bread, or my mom's asking, send this amount of money for this person because of this, I don't tend to question it, because I see how hard it is out there. And if I know that the person is genuine and they're in actual need of support, I'll do so. So all in all, as long as I have those positive relationships with my family members, I will continue to send money back home and do what I can. And for those who won't, let me know in the comments. Let's have the discussion.
The entitlement of some people. You came into my inbox saying the Holy Spirit asked you to tell me that I should give you $3,000. The Holy Spirit did not forget to tell you that the person you are going to ask does not have the money. And then you came in because you rely on the Holy Spirit. And now the Holy Spirit, and you come and I don't have the money, you are angry. How can the Holy Spirit tell you that somebody has money, so go and borrow it? And the Holy Spirit cannot tell you that how to get that money in a different way. How can the Holy Spirit tell you that there is money in this person's pocket, go and borrow it? Because the person lives in America, so that person is rich, so that person is well-to-do, so you can come and borrow money from that person. And the Holy Spirit did not direct you on how to make that money. The Holy Spirit did not direct you on how to make that money. This is why some of you Christians, I am always saying, you are the reason why people are saying Jesus is not God. You are the reason why people are disrespecting Christianity, because you rely on your bad behavior and your intuition to talk nonsense, talk things that you don't know, things that God did not say. You talk about it, and then now you come blaming. People will start to be acting like, oh, Christianity it's fake, because of your bad behavior. You are the reason why people think Christianity is not good. Because you, as a pastor or whatever you call yourself, you are supporting bad deeds in the country. And then when somebody is going to say that, oh, this thing is not supposed to be like this, minority just came out of minority. Just a few months ago, they didn't even stay in minority for 1 year. And they're already complaining so much. And I said, no. I feel like minority should wait a little while. This guy got offended. And because I didn't give him that $3,000, I am his enemy. I am his enemy. So he used that channel to disrespect me and come and tell me that I'm disrespectful because I live in the US. And because you asked for $3,000. Come on, $3,000, right? $3,000 is such a small money. And you don't have. It's such a tiny pinchy money and you don't have. And it's not easy for you to make. And you think that I, a woman, you are a man, you don't even know how to make 3,000. Me, a woman who has children to feed, to give you my $3,000 because you think it's okay for me to take the money that will be fed to my children to come and give it to you because I live in America. You have overhyped this abroad and it's making it look like those of us who live in listen, those of them who have been portraying that they are rich, go into their inbox and ask them. I don't need validation from any of you. I don't need your validation. I don't want to be rich. I want to be who I am. So please don't come into my inbox and ask me for money that I've never seen before.
Seriously, I would like to know why people back home, especially our relatives, if you live abroad, wherever you are, and you just left home, I don't know why people back home and your relatives are so obsessed with what you make, your money, and what you're doing with it. And even they calculate how much you earn and what you're doing with it, why you're not helping them, and they're so entitled to your money that you woke up very early in the morning, did those several shifts, you can't even sleep, and somebody back home is just enjoying their life. Some of them don't have a job just because they don't want to work, and some of them they're waiting for your money so that they can go out to party and do other stuff that they're not supposed to be doing. So why is it that people are so invested towards your hard work, towards your sweat, and they're so entitled that what are you doing with your money? Since you're not married, what do you do with your money? I mean, why do you care? Why do you care if I'm married or not? Or why do you care what I do with my money? What rights do you have over my money that I worked for, that I sweated for, and you just sit it down there? So I don't know. This goes to all our African relatives back there home. You don't have any entitlement. Sometimes these people, we don't sleep. Sometimes people work 3-4 jobs just to pay bills. You don't even have time for friends. And people are so entitled. Oh, if you don't send me some money, you'll be cursed. If you don't send me some money, you don't have blessings. My goodness, I already have blessings. I'm already blessed. And God doesn't calculate blessings the way you want him to do his blessings. Right? God doesn't just curse you just because you didn't send somebody money who doesn't require that money, who doesn't deserve to receive your money. So anyway, just know that people really work hard for their money and you're not entitled to anything. So if I say no, it is a no. That's my money. And there's nowhere you can take me. So to all those uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers who hold down their people, or they have if you don't do this, this will happen, please, mukome, stop doing that. Let a person give you money or send you money because they want to, but not forcing them and not just, gatekeeping their whatever. Let a person bless you because they want to bless you, not you putting conditions. Okay? Are we together? Are we in agreement?
I was watching a video on Facebook, and this lady was talking about how, I think her name was Monday, I think. And this lady was talking about how, she was feeling really unwell, and a lady back home in Ghana called her, and who she normally assists financially when she has money. When that lady called her, she was really feeling ill, so she wasn't able to take that call in the right way in terms of, listening to what she really wanted. Even when she was telling you, I'm really sick, I'll call you back, that lady that was calling from Ghana didn't want to hear. And so all she wanted was to tell her, I need money, can you send money? And the lady said, right now I'm really unwell. I haven't even been to work for a few days. I don't have any money to send you. And the response that the woman got was, the woman in America got from the woman in Ghana was, oh, so the little money you give me, so you're pretending that you're sick. Why are people so wicked? Why are some people so wicked that people feel so entitled that just because you've helped them one time or you help them when you can, they feel so entitled that you must help them always? Why are people so wicked? That somebody will go to work and earn after tax £1,500. They will send you £200. So technically that person got dressed, left home, got to worked for 2 days and gave you 2 days of their salary. And some of them will even tell you, so this small money you give me that you're complaining. Somebody's 2 full days of work is more money. It's more money. We really need to be honest that some people back home are so ungrateful, so entitled. They feel so entitled. Somebody will go to work for 2 full days, give you £200, $200, €200, and you even open your mouth and say, oh, it's small. What would I do with this money? What would you do with this money? Go and find a job. Go and work for yourself. If it's small money, give the money back. It's too small for you, Madam Big, Mr. Big. The money's too small for you, so give the money back to the people that is enough for, is big for. 2 full days of somebody's job. They went to work 2 days, 2 full days, and gave the money to you for free. You have the audacity and the guts. So open your mouth and tell the person, oh, that money is small. What would I do with the money? Why?
I don't understand why lazy and entitled people are always so proud. That is not your money that you work for. Someone gave you money, free money. You didn't have to work for it. Someone worked and gave you that money. That is their labor. They gave you that money freely. You don't have to pay back. It's not a loan or anything like that. And yet, to you, it's too small. Even though you have never worked for that money in your lifetime. And even if you have a job, that is probably your 1 month, 3 month, or even 1 year income right there. If you had a job and you can't even say, oh, thank you for this. A lot of them there think that it is very easy over here to make money. It's not. You will sweat over here to make money. And it's not even a lot of money. It's a small amount of money that you'll just be sweating, huffing and puffing over. Small amount of money. And the cost of living is so high, they don't understand these things. Even if you sit down and explain, I live through credit cards. I do not even make enough money to survive. So I have to borrow other people's money just to live. They will never understand that. And I think they don't want to understand that. Because if they understand it, then they have to back off. They don't want to back off. They want the money right now, pay up right now. And so they don't really care what is happening in your life. You can be seriously sick. You can have cancer. They don't care. All they know is money. All they want is money. All they want is a person to help them. They only care about themselves. And it is one of the most selfish things that you can do. Not consider other people's struggle when you ask for things.
Everyone here who needs money might not want to work. All people here are not necessarily interested in hard work. That's crazy because I've fired so many workers, right? Experienced it with household cleaners mainly. They're just not interested in working, you know? They're like little things like just be on time and get the work done and you can go, and we pay them well. We end up firing them over them not following simple instructions like just be on time. You know, I've got friends who run businesses and they have to fire people all the time just because of basic morals. For example, some of them might try to scam money from the company, divert work to themselves, etc. So it's really sad, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, not everyone here who needs the money necessarily wants to work, and I think that's partly to blame because of unnecessary remittance. Like just sending money back home just for the sake of sending money back home because maybe the people feel guilty. You know, sometimes it's good to let people have to stand on their own 2 feet and actually go out and hustle, and then they'll realize, you know, money doesn't come from trees, you know. And also, this is different to charity. Like charity is like for me, like there's a lot of people who need charity and who need work but just don't have the opportunity. But that's a different case. I'm talking about people who have the opportunity, are lazy with it and squander it.
I hope they use this for something good. You don't know what is going on. We are making money, you are sleeping. You don't know what is going on, eh?
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.